Hi, this is Paul Barham of Barham 939 of the Brigham Tea Company. Now here today I'm going to try to show you all the steps of tanning a goat hide. Might not get all of them, but I'll try in one video. Then I know I've been watching, people don't watch more than the first couple of videos when you're making. And I've got approved to do longer videos, so anyhow, as you can see, we've got a goat hide here on the first board that we butchered this goat. And I picked goat because most people could grow some goats in their backyard, and it'd be a great meat source. And then this is just something else that you could do with your hide to more utilize the animal, show a little more respect, to not waste so much of the animal. Anyhow, this is the goat we butchered about a week ago, and it's, as you can see, I just cut we peeled it down and off of it. Here's the hoof. Now, what I'm going to do now is I've got it laid out here. I'm going to salt both sides of this. The salt does two things. The salt helps preserve the meat, preserve the hide until it's ready to be tanned, and it prevents maggots from getting here. So I'm literally salting the hair side and rubbing the salt in. I'm just going to leave the hair on this, not making bucks again. Just turn this over, and as you can see, there's plenty of meat left on there, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. The salt, when you salt this, it kind of jerkifies the meat that got left on the hide. And you're saying, well, why don't you, when you're skinning it, do a better job? Well, when you're skinning a goat to eat, you're not as concerned about the hide as you are the meat. You want to keep the fat off the meat. And so you kind of leave it on the hide. So what I'm going to do here, and these are just regular old roofing nails I got here. And you start on one corner, and you literally just tack it down. Pull it tight, pull the opposite corner, and get as close to the edge as you possibly can. This is just a piece of wafer board that I'm using to nail it to. You literally just go corner to corner all the way around the hide. Just keep stretching, go all the way around, and make sure you get salt on it. Okay? Now, it should end up looking like this when you're done. And I've scraped this one, and this is let me show you how we do the scrape. You want to get it down as close as to the skin as possible. You want all the meat off of the hide. I've got a couple of tools here that I've made. I made this one, and it works fantastic. It's made out of a old, it's like a metal saw blade, a metal saw machine. You want to try to get all that sinew up that you can. But the closer you get it to the raw hide or the skin, the easier it will be to tan. This is the leg hole. Leg holes are kind of a pain when you're thinking, oh, but they're handy in the process of try to get all this sinew up. And then once you're to this point, the nails will pull out as it dries and stretches. And you've got to go around every day, kind of. Got to let it dry a couple of days, just so it's good and dry, and then start scraping all the meat off. All that meat that you see on that hide has to come off. And you can either feed it to your dog, or because it's jerky now. It's not actually raw meat. So all these nails out, and then just go right back in the bucket with the rookie nail bucket. That's about, you got to work on it I work on it in the mornings before I head to work, about 10 or 15 minutes every day. And it takes about a week of that, of 10 or 15 minutes a day of getting it down to where you need it. It needs to be white like this. Okay? So this is what it'll look like. Let's see it. This is the rawhide. I'm literally going to take this, roll it up, and put it in a bucket of water. Now there's my bucket of water. And I'm going to wash this hide. And it's going to get wet. Even though I've dried it, it doesn't hurt it at all. Put it in there and let it soak for a minute or so. This is what I like to use to help soften. As you can see, I got a hole in the bucket. Put my plunger in there. It's called a Rocky Mountain Maytag. Just make sure you're still in the frame here. Alright. And you literally just start softening that hide. And it needs to be good and washed. And then soften. And I'm not going to have time because it's not going to be soft enough to actually show you the next step. So the next step is the tanning process. And it's literally Crisco. You lay the hide out flat. So let's pretend this is the hide. After it's wet, you wring it out like you would a chamois, because it'll feel like a chamois. You wring it out like a chamois, and then you rub about a cup and a half of Crisco. It's not the oil. You don't want the oil. It's like lard. And you rub it in, and then you put it in a Ziploc bag and leave it overnight. 24 hours. I add a little egg to give it that yellow color. Then literally what you do after it's soaked 24 hours is the next step is, and this is probably the most crucial step, is you work it and you stretch it and you work it and you stretch it. and you just keep working it. You keep working it, and working it, and working it. And you just keep, I use a post, I use a tree, I use the, and it takes about a week, again a week of about 15 minutes a day, like before I go to work, of working it, maybe 10 minutes a day, until it is just soft and pliable, and it makes a great hide. Now remember, it don't take much. It only takes the 24 hours of shortening, Crisco shortening. I like Crisco, and an egg, about a cup for that big a hide. A cup of Crisco, 1 egg. Mush it up. Really rub it into the skin side of the hide. Put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in your fridge, leave it overnight. Actually, leave it 24 hours. Pull it out and wring it out. You have to really wring it out. And then you just start stretching and pulling. And in about 2 weeks, you have a really nice, flexible piece of leather. Anyhow, this is Paul Bowerman of Bowerman 939 of the Brigham Tea Company. Thanks for watching.